welcome to Intuition, and thanks so much for tuning in. We've got another episode for you today. We're all college students here, and we're all, mature ladies. We feel like we can handle this show. But my question here for our first little topic is, when do you consider yourself to be an adult? Because I know there's a lot of people, perhaps our parents would say, we're not adults yet. They look at their children, even if they're in college, and they still see them as a child. So that's my question. What makes us an adult? Is the fact that we're in college, does that mean we're grown up and we have these... No?
Exactly. I don't know when you grow up. I mean, you always get the question, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right,
what do you
even now, when you grow up.
up?
And every time I ask that too, or I say, oh, I want to be this when I grow up. And I'm half kidding, but my mom goes, grown up? You're not grown up yet?
Yeah. She's like, no. And I don't know. Whenever I'm always like, oh well, when I grow up, I want to be a reporter. Yeah. Well, I mean,
you're kind of there.
That's now, right?
Yeah, that's about a year from now, I will be a reporter. So I mean,
exactly.
Is that when I'm grown up now?
Right. Like me too. It's the same way. Like with nursing, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be traveling nurse and blah blah.
Yeah.
And then my mom's like, well, isn't that like in a year? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it hits you.
But I was thinking about that question was, it's so funny how some cultures have that specific age, like sweet 16, and like, for Filipino culture, it's debut, which is 18 years old, and then for do they have a bar mitzvah or whatever?
Bar mitzvah, right?
Bar mitzvah.
A bar mitzvah, honey.
There you go. Like, what age is that around? Like,
it's 13.
13. Yeah. So, and then they have one where when you get your menstrual, it's like, oh, you're a woman,
right. Yeah.
And so, but really, those markers really count as you're grown up now. I mean,
I couldn't.
Right?
Yeah.
So but actually,
I think it signifies like the beginning of the process. You are
Yeah.
now entering that transition where you're going from a child to an adult. Especially with like a bar mitzvah and things like that, when a girl first starts her menstrual cycle. That's certainly, I couldn't point to a 15-year-old girl and say, you're an adult now.
You're an adult.
Pay your bills and taxes.
Yeah, I think maybe if you, exactly, whenever you're paying your own things.
Does that make you an adult?
I think that's whenever it makes you an adult.
Responsibilities. When you can take care of yourself and not really, be dependent upon other people.
Yeah, so whenever me and my mom and my dad separate, that's whenever I'm an adult.
And that's my thinking too. I don't feel that I'm still a kid. I don't think I'm not a teenager anymore. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if I'm a full-fledged adult, grown up yet, because I'm still at home. Right. I still live with my parents and they provide things for me. I think that I would do okay if I were on my own. Mm-hmm. I think I can handle myself. But I have to test myself first.
With your culture, what does it signify?
Well, it differs with each family.
Yeah.
Usually daughters, you move from one house to the other. Daughters, you typically won't move out of their home until they're getting married.
No.
But again, it differs with each family too. And some people do it different ways. I know plenty of women that have moved out of their homes before being married, to pursue a career and further education and things like that. So
I mean, like with the Filipino culture, actually, as far as the daughter goes, you're never grown up.
Yeah.
As far as I know, in my household, like my mom told me, till I die, that's when you can really go on your own. Because I know when I have my family and I settle down, I'm married.
Babysitter mom, how are you?
My mom's gonna come to my house and she's gonna check. Okay, is the rice cooker on? And is the house clean? Are there the toilet paper dispenser full? Just things like that. And I know you'll in my culture you can never really get away from your parents.
Yeah.
Ever. So basically, it's like a long.
So whenever they kick off, that's whenever you're gonna.
When they kick off? You mean when they're
gone? That's
when they're gone.
When they pass away?
When they go away.
But that's interesting though, because I feel like there are in some cultures you're not really considered an adult until you're married.
That's true.
Until you're with someone else, and then you can move out to your own house and start your own family. That's when you're a full-fledged adult.
Yeah.
I think that's a tip.
That's what my dad always said.
In American, I guess, like in America, like I mean, I know with my friends that are more like in the Anglo-ish, they once they're 18 and then they get married, they have the ring on the finger, they can do whatever they want. Like their parents probably don't even know don't even have to see them, you know, for a couple months.
Well, I'm half Anglo or something. My dad in his Texas accent, he's just like, well, you're my daddy, your daddy's girl until you're somebody else's. So, and so he's like, I'll pay for everything until.
And then your Filipino mom's gonna bust in there and be like, you got summers?
Yeah. She's gonna do that, but he's just like, you're on your own whenever you get married. So
you know, it's interesting. When I was in high school, my senior year, I remember thinking of all the things I wanted to do in college and what I wanted to study and what kind of jobs I wanted to have. I remember thinking, oh my gosh, 21, that's so old. 22, that's so old. You know, and now we're at that position, and I don't feel old at all. I don't feel.
Oh my gosh, it's a different story with me.
Really?
I just turned 20 this past September, and I remember the day I woke up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to cry.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, there's no more teen with my age. Like, it's 20, you know? And I was really reflective that day because I was like, wow, I was telling my mom, I was like, within the next 10 years, my life is just going to completely change.
Yeah.
I'm going to get married, you know, well, the usual. You're going to get married, engaged. I mean, that goes engaged, marriage, career, kids.
Yeah, and then you're friends with kids right now, and they're in their 20s. It's not anymore. It's like, oh, okay,
all right,
you're having a kid.
And I get
congratulations.
When I hit, like right now, to me, okay, 25 is old, 26 is old. And then when I get there, I'll be like, no, 30 is old.
Yeah, you're going to keep talking myself.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, I think overall, for me, age is always just going to be a number.
Yeah.
Though I was dreading 20, I really feel like when I'm 40 years old, I'm going to be like Madonna. I'm going to be like taking yoga and, you know.
I'm going to be in marathons.
Marathons.
Yeah,
I'm going to be that lady that has like the skin that's like so tight and she always got her jacket inside.
Yeah, well, it was also scary because whenever I was watching Cosmo, or not watching Cosmo, but I was reading Cosmo, all these women that were successful, they're billionaires now, they said, oh, well, I remember whenever I'm 20 and I got my first computer. And they just made life decisions around their 20s.
Yeah.
So it's just, you're
We're at an important era now.
Yeah.
Hang on to it. We'll be right back here on Intuition.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.